What's up, Vitamart family? Sarah here, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes for the fall and winter months, and it's a warm, cozy, quick and easy butternut soup. Okay, first off, let's talk ingredients. I will list them here, but I will also list them down below in the description, so either pause and have a look at this or hop down below and grab everything that you need. But today I went with frozen butternut squash. It's pre-cut, frozen, ready to go. I just use a whole bag and find that that is a very fast and easy way to do it. I am using a bag of baby potatoes, just a whole bag of baby potatoes. I wash them really well. I have about a cup of baby carrots here, 4 stalks of celery. You can use more or less if you choose. I have 2 small onions. Ideally I like 1 large onion, but I didn't have 1 large, so I went with 2 small. And I will show you my secret to getting like the most flavorful soup imaginable with these bad boys. Then you're gonna need a broth of your choice. If you wanna make it vegan or vegetarian friendly, you can use a vegetable broth. For this I'm using chicken broth. I have salt and pepper for flavor and some minced garlic that I like to add as well. And I also have some extra virgin olive oil for sauteing the onions. Okay, let's talk kitchen tools. Today I'm using my Instant Pot. It's my absolute favorite for fall soups and stews and just fast, easy, healthy meals. Prior to having that, I've made this recipe in the crock pot, and I've also made it in a regular pot on the stove. I am also going to be using my immersion blender, which if you don't have this, you can use just a regular blender carefully. I have my food processor, which you really don't need, but if you have it, it makes your life a little bit easier. So those are my tools of choice, my ingredients. Let's get cooking.
First things first, let's cut some onions. I love using my food processor when I'm dealing with onions because it causes a few less tears than the old-fashioned way of chopping.
Every time I do this, I think of Shrek.
Ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No. Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
I'm going... One of my favorite parts about the Instant Pot, it sinks to you when you open and close it. I'm going to take my diced onions and just plop it right in. Whew. My eyeballs. Don't cry. Got mascara on. Even that has me crying. Okay, so next I'm going to chop up the celery and the carrots, and I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to work on the potatoes.
I have made this soup many times over the years. It's actually a recipe from my mother-in-law, and I have adapted it, and I've learned tricks and tips to make making the soup faster, and a food processor to help chopping is definitely one of those tips and tricks.
Yay. Okay.
I love this soup because it's so versatile. You can really add any leftover produce that you have hanging out in your fridge into the soup. For me, I used red pepper today.
So now that our ingredients are chopped, we are going to saute just the onions, and this makes such a huge difference in terms of the flavor of the soup.
Add a tablespoon of the oil of your choice to saute your onions.
I also add my salt and pepper here too. Okay, so I have my onions in the Instant Pot, and I've set it to saute, which is where all the flavor comes from when the onions start to caramelize at the bottom of the pan. Measure with your heart, but this is where I use my minced garlic as well. My husband and I like kind of a lot of garlic, so I'm using about that much. I'm going to saute the onions until they're about translucent. Okay, so as you should be able to see now, see all that brown goodness on the bottom of the pot. Yes? Okay, now you take your broth of choice, and what we're going to do is deglaze the pot. So you see all that brown is flavor. And you pour just enough broth in to cover the bottom, and then you use your spatula to just deglaze the pot.
This is a step I always used to skip, and it really changes the flavor of the soup.
So if you are doing this in a saucepan, you do the same step in the saucepan, then you transfer everything. If you're using a crock pot, you would do the same step in the saucepan and then transfer everything into the crock pot as like your broth. Okay, so now that we've deglazed the bottom of the pot, and there's no more caramelized onion on the bottom, now is when I like to add my celery and carrots and peppers.
This is a step that some people skip, but I do find that after sauteing the onions, when you saute the vegetables for a few minutes, it brings out a ton of flavor.
Okay, so now that I have sauteed the onions, deglazed the pot, and now sauteed my celery, red pepper, and carrots, I'm gonna go ahead and add the potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and add the butternut. And then I add in the rest of my broth.
After I empty the box of broth, I fill it halfway with hot water to make sure all the vegetables are submerged.
And then, before you put the lid on, your secret weapon, which is a broth cube. So again, if you want to make this vegan or vegetarian friendly, you can just use a vegetable broth instead of chicken broth, and you can use a vegetable stock cube versus a chicken stock cube. The lid. I'm gonna set it to sealing, and I'm just gonna hit soup. And we'll be back in 30 minutes.
A few moments later.
Okay, so 30 minutes has passed. My Instant Pot is done pressure cooking the soup. And if you are using an Instant Pot, don't use your hand to do this part because you will burn yourself. You're welcome. Okay, so now that all the steam has been released from your Instant Pot, you can now open it up. Woo! I wish you could smell it because it smells amazing. And this is what it looks like. So you can leave it just like that if you prefer, and if you want to up the protein in it, you can add shredded chicken from like a rotisserie chicken, or if you have some chicken on hand, or what I like doing is liquefying it. So I'm going to use my immersion blender and liquefy the soup. And this is what your soup looks like. I wish you could smell it. You can top it with your favorite cheese. You can top it with some additional salt or pepper. And if you want to add a little bit more flavor, you can top it with a little bit of nutmeg as well. So I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave us a comment in the comments below about what your favorite fall recipe is, and we would love to give it a try. So don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.